welcome back. Today I'm going to be discussing with you The Road. I'm going to give you some facts about the book, some facts about the movie, and some similarities and differences between each. So first let's get started with some facts about the book. The book was published in 2006 by author Cormac McCarthy. This novel was a huge hit and also won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction of its year. McCarthy was actually inspired to write this novel when he was visiting El Paso, Texas with his young son, and he began imagining what the town would look like 50 to 100 years into the future, and therefore The Road was born. The movie was released very shortly after in 2009, and it features some very prominent actors, two of which are Viggo Mortensen and Robert Duvall. The interesting fact about the filming of this movie is parts of this movie was filmed in New Orleans right after Hurricane Katrina. They used the destruction that Hurricane Katrina caused to create the devastating scenery that they used in this movie. Alright, so similarities. The movie goes along the storyline of the book very well. It is the story of a man and his young son who are traveling to the coast in a world that is full of survival. The interesting thing about the book and the movie is all the characters remain nameless. Nobody is ever given a name. The father, the son, any of the other characters that you encounter. The only glimpse of a name that you get is the old man, who is played by Robert Duvall, states that his name is Eli, but later on says that that's a lie and that's actually not his real name. So none of the characters ever reveal their names in both the book and the movie, and I really appreciated that fact that they stuck to that in the movie, because I know how hard that can be, having nameless characters. Another similarity is that there are various flashbacks throughout the book, and they brought those flashbacks forward in the movie as well. You see the father having flashbacks to his wife, everything that happened to her, how things used to be, and they have those flashbacks throughout the movie as well. The portrayal of the scenery in the movie was very faithful to how it was described in the book. You just see a lot of dust, a lot of bleakness. It just looks very uninhabited. It looks very depressing and diseased, and the movie did a really good job of painting that picture that McCarthy put in his book. There's the whole saying that they're carrying the fire. You see that very prominent throughout the book. The father is constantly telling the son that they're different because they're carrying the fire, and they use that motto, I guess you could call it, in the movie as well. They are carrying the fire. Another similarity is at the end, the boy's father tragically dies, and the boy is taken in by another man in his family, and you see that both in the book and the movie. Alright, so for some differences, one difference that I saw was the movie had way more flashbacks than the book did. The book, it was very spaced out, it was very periodical, and they were just more like glimpses into the past. The movie flashed back a lot more than the book did. You saw more of their life when she was pregnant, when she gave birth. They're arguing over what to do. You don't see that in the book. So the movie really kind of took that flashback sequence and ran with it and put it a lot more into the movie. One scene that was left out completely in the movie is the man and his son is following this group of people to make sure that they're safe, and one of the women in the group is pregnant, and the following day they saw that she had given birth and they had cannibalized the baby, and that was left out in the movie. Another thing that was left out in the movie that I thought could have easily been added is there was a part of the book where it was very crucial that they found water for survival, and they found water in a house that basically helped them to survive. If they had not found this water, they would have died. And I wish they had put that in the movie. I don't think it really would have taken much more effort or much more screen time, but it was left out. Okay, so although I think the movie did a very good job of following along in the lines of the book, I do have to say that my favorite is still the book. The book was a very excellent read, as you can imagine, with one that has won a Pulitzer Prize. It was a very good page turner for me. It grasped your attention. It was delightful in a horrifying way. It was a very good read. It was something a lot different than what I normally read, but it was very good, and I hope everybody gets a chance to read it. All right, so what are your thoughts? Did you guys like the book and the movie as well? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time when we will be discussing Memoirs of a Geisha.